Attention gamers, recently in Rav's Igloo, under the adult supervision of my coach Council niece, I've been climbing through the pits of elo hell by playing ADC. Which, contrary to the brainwashing belief that I try to politician propaganda piss onto all of you on this channel, is actually quite good, if played in the mid lane. But when you select one of these champs bot, you are just initiating what is known as the Gyarados effect, TM. You see, playing an ADC down in the domain of dice rolling if your duo is going to be dumb, douchey, or in the rare case, decent, is like catching a Magikarp. You are committing to being extremely useless up to a certain point in hopes of cashing out that investment way later when this proverbial splash tackling fish evolves into something the Bermuda Triangle is scared of, and the 3+ item high level mythical ADs come out to prove why Riot tacked the word carry to the end of their name. But this requires time. Not only is having items as important on ADCs as having feet in soccer or boobs on TikTok, but champs in League of Legends also go through a natural puberty as they level up in terms of passive stats like attack damage, attack speed, and sometimes attack range. All things that I would argue ADCs rely on more than other classes, paired with this duo lane making them hit growth spurts later than their peers, and you have just signed up for quite the waiting game. But unlike pro play or even high elo where Magikarps are cradled and given the resources to safely evolve, time is not on your freaking side in low elo solo queue. In most games, by 15 minutes one team already has their foot stuck so far up the other team's asses they can taste toes on the back of their tongues, and if you are in this elo anyway, you are probably accustomed to your own minions taxing your CS. Bruh. So hopes of evolving before the game is over or your team's mental is shattered like the glass ceiling Hillary Clinton failed to shatter get shattered, which is why I've discovered that playing APCs is the perfect way to overcome the Gyarados effect. For starters, early on you aren't a Magikarp, and if we learned anything it's that more CC equals more GG, so chances of you having an early advantage are high. This causes a situation where you've finished your mythic aka Riot Balance team's magnum opus of adding a bit hit to broken bullshit, so compared to the enemy Magikarp with a half an item, you can actually contribute to early fights around the rift like blowing up the squishy tits, caging others, and tilting all enemies alike. All while an ADC rotating up this early can just hope to not be focused so they can steal a kill or two and maybe evolve earlier so their team doesn't forfeit before they can have any fun. So today I am going to play the top 3 highest win rate quote-unquote AD carries according to some super specific filtered data set I found to make my point, to show how you can exploit the Gyarados effect to help you climb. And as I mentioned, counterplaying the Gyarados effect by rocking bot lane APCs is a solo queue strategy focused in lower elo, so if you are a diamond plus douche canoe typing a love letter in my comments, I believe there is a keynote somewhere requesting you speak about your giant inflated ego elsewhere. Okay, so game 1 I was playing the lizardly coloring book critter because with her you can be whatever you want to be, as long as what you want to be is one of your 4 teammates, and things get spicy when armored Elsa comes prick sticking herself to my fat walking tree and so many flashes come out you would think Girls Gone Wild was filming, but there was no happy ending for the wobbling willow tree, which left me just a chipper Geico agent alone to play the role of the 1 in a 1v2 clutchy dutchy double to start us off strong. Then when I was on my way back to lane to hit a fat proclaim that I found the chapter that was supposedly lost in this game, we got a visit from Troll Kingdom Barry Bonds, which would have been better without my absence and thus resulted in Oakley getting 18 spectral toothpicks ejaculated in his dead bitch bark as I arrived just in time to drop all my skill shots on the floor. This leaves just the shield slut from Siberia, so we award her the 200 years trophy and then start chanting speech until she turns to give us one, which was just bait kappa, so we murder her ass. This puts us in the mood to flash each other our nipples in the enemy forest, you know, naughty cause it feels so dirty to defile their territory type of shit. And when we notice the rainbow stained reaper whacker, I say, you know what would be troll? If I was a troll too, so we two troll one dog that dickwad before dragon. And at this point I am rocking that 1 item spike, feeling that ADCs are eternal virgins too, so I tell my support to go full blown Shel Silverstein with a twist and giving Tree these shit something naughty, which lines me up for a cannonball cucking, but a last minute flash dodges my splash and now I have to deal with tower backlash. And frozen sticky buns here must think she's unkillable just because all Leonas are designed to be unkillable, but a lethal Fruit Loop to boop her snoot does the trick, and then I flash away from that limp lunging blue ballsack to give Barkley some privacy for his revenge. That said, the taste of blood on his campfire hickory wood lips has him feeling abusively power hungry. like a moderator on the League of Legends subreddit, so he goes yippity-doo-dying his dumb way and only to come running back with so many toothpicks in him you would think he's a walking hors d'oeuvres tray, but this just presents a good opportunity for me to show why APCs with more CC equate to more GG, as I deliver a surprise dicking to that chick from Avatar before sitting a century of stuns and hitting a stealthy mitosis to get out alive. This allowed us to slap their tier 1 tower's ass so hard you would think it was our stepsister before grouping up with the boys for some solo queue round the rift shenanigans, so I play the fight like shit, as is tradition, before getting impatient and hitting my bedazzled backflip bukake special which knocks one dead, and then I keep chasing just to be informed that a wheat farmer would like some alone time, so I make him taste my whole fucking rainbow, tie him up and deliver the double. So 17 minutes into the game their team's Magikarp is still years from evolving and we are playing knock knock who's there with their inhibitor and who was there was a fed as shit lizard who can't land her abilities, but all it takes is one Q at this point to erase red health bars from my side, and even though I may have teammates doing shit so dumb they fin to be dead as dogs, I can splash zone those mutt murdering mofos, stun them up and send them all running, and then wait for the bait to bring back a straggler so I can shove a colorful sock in his slobbering shithole. Which unsurprisingly prompts a 19-minute surrender and provides me with Exhibit A of how to exploit the Gyarados effect in this game. So round 2 I went all the way to the end of the rainbow to lock in Lucky the Leprechaun, and full disclosure this game started off with an early death due to a disagreement my eyeballs had with the mini-map involving the custody of my 2 wards who ended up getting to stay with me, but it's okay because you know what a level 6 Magikarp can't do? Catch a full health little fart rat in a magically delicious shame circle and then promptly move the file called Twitch ADC to the folder called Dead Bitches. And this ruthless murder may or may not have attracted enough people to nominate the next damn pope down here, because as the saying goes they're always after me Lucky Charms, and after all the kids got sent away, the 18 and over content entitled The 4-Leaf Clover Cuckin' Fucking Sued. Now, not to get sentimental here, but I listen to a lot of inspirational speakers and a common phrase I hear a lot is that there is always someone out there doing more than you with less or some shit, and to put a graphic to that statement I just want to say to all my ADCs that with a half an item and some Nikes I was able to fit my entire pot of gold up this dead dock worker's asshole in one go. So big surprise, bot tower got shit on worse than a porter potty at a Mexican food truck event, which means it was time to go nomadic and ruin Draco Malfoy's prom night, but I've gotta say the dude got all mushy on us. Some may even say liquid like, which I have no patience for, so I press the win fight button and let the walking petting zoo get the shutdown. This attracted my pike piggy bank to make an appearance mid, and when I saw him wanting to get wild with a ward I promptly made him taste the rainbow and then delivered a slaughter via skymail to his face, which left the Lucas Lightning chaps alone, so I hit him with a stun that didn't hit and then squashed that power source as well. And this prompted a little ratchet ass rift run down in the forest. You know, low elo traditions, as normal carries probably want to get back to lane and binge hoodie homicide marathons because they are more behind than a train's caboose, but I don't need 3 items to go slut stunning or steward little slaughtering or rainbow ravaging the little riff raffs on the rift. No, I am totally happy to be partaking in these solo queue rituals. Now call me old-fashioned, but being able to put 2 bad guys in timeout while simultaneously shafting the staticky one is definitely a decent enough reason for me to think this little Irish ass hat is a good ticket to board the LP train, but it's also worth noting that you have the exact tools needed to fill other Rift idiots with more regret over their mistakes than my little sister, who we all wished a happy birthday on this very channel, will have after getting an ass tat with her college roomies for the quote-unquote memes. Anyways, I notice a flash freezed crust cat turd all alone up top, so I head over hoping to get lucky, only to keep my audience on their toes by making them think I have my monitor off for this one, and all is good and fun until that little ice cube with eczema has the nerve to say cute to me in chat. And when you live your entire life at a height of 2'11", that is not a word you enjoy hearing, and I was not about to stand for that disrespect, so you know what I did? I went right back over there to teach that dumb Altoid a lesson with my. Then a minute later I predicted like a damn near Summoner's Rift prophet that a scurrying support would be doing his best Israelites during Exodus impersonation and trying to escape, so I put him in a pretty prison and let my Q ask him where all his health went. This clearly triggered Count Succula to put on his LAPD hat and chase me like I was a small Irish O.J. Simpson, but what he didn't realize was that I was caressing my win fight button that whole time, just ready to press it. But you don't really need a win fight button at this point in a game that you laned against a Magikarp, as Q and W will do the trick, paired with the fact that you will always be relevant due to being a little leprechaun pumped full with like 20 cc's of CC, and it should be of no surprise that the weak mental little bitty sucking babies will give in before a Gyarados is born on their team. Okay, so game 3 and our work was cut out for us here because not only was I less experienced than an earthworm having anal when it comes to playing Edgar Allan Poe, but we were also up against the living embodiment of 200 years in the form of a Chad Chippendale, and against my better judgment, a bitch brawl breaks out level 1, but Mama Rav didn't raise no amputee gramps that shies away from a little shrub slapping bitch, so I oblige by standing still and elegantly right clicking until Rift Alexa makes the performance down here sound much more impressive than it was. And when I get back to lane, the pattern of set players making me wish I had more middle fingers continues, which long story short puts me in a situation where all I could do was use my passive to yank that dumb gun slut into tower omega lull and yeet. Then, since I knew my jungler was in the area and this male stripper wouldn't be able to say no to ratchet pussy, I roam back up, let him think he has a type worth in chat moment on his hands from the graveyard before flashing the falcon punch, dropping a bloody bird bomb down and watching Lantern Larry get the double this time. Then I guess all it takes with half an item on Swain is landing one hook to get High Noon Obama's wife dropped lower than one of those fat ass chicks twerking in front of a Bentley in a Lil Jon rap video. But side plot, we had a bit of set syndrome on our hands, which long story short meant that tower topped 200 years. So then I asked Thresh if he would be interested in trying to fit this bitch back in his lantern, and you already know he was in, so I chased before taking a super quick pause to jerk off to add some profane pizzazz to the following kill. And this onslaught just got worse after I got my ult. You would think my kill count was gas prices in America with how quickly it was increasing, because my win fight condition quickly just turned into simply existing and sucking everything in the area off until climax and then busting a nut on these babies. Not to mention our jungler was really putting the ass in astronaut when it came to camping their already losing lane, so double after double. Rift Alexa talking about me so much you would think I was the Chad high school senior that was about to take her sophomore ass to Pound Town after prom. I even did my jungler a solid and politely informed their Nautilus that there can only be one Neil Armstrong cosplayer on the Rift at a time, and you can probably guess by how massive Mandingo cockstrong we were from farming Magikarp spot early how this game ended. But in the spirit of talking about the power of overcoming the Gyarados effect, there was one particular APC that currently rules all other APCs. That's right, the Kale team at Riot must have hired a new project manager, and she must have some magnificent knockers, because everyone in the last few weeks has been 1v75'd by a fed Kale, and so Exhibit C of my essay needed to be thrown out as what YouTuber would show a loss on their channel. But yeah, at least I wasn't a useless Magikarp. Rav out.
Fuck with Rabby boy, I'm in your crib with the blappy boy, talk to me slick and I'm popping your pappy. If happy talk back, then I'm taking your Grammy, and boy oh boy I'll make her happy.